Watch out, Dick Tracy. Detective Gallo's on the case. Detective Gallo's a fun, albeit slightly flawed point-and-click adventure game. This is a genre that seemed destined to fade away at one point. Luckily, with the advent of indies and smaller budgets, these type of games are still being produced today. Games like Broken Age, Thimbleweed Park are breathing new life into an old genre. The animation and graphics are colorful and vibrant and do a wonderful job of portraying the rich, colorful world we explore. The dubbing's pretty rough though, and it does detract from the overall experience. Hopefully it gets patched, but right now it's a little more than annoying. The voice work is top notch though, and the characters are quirky and endearing for the most part. The dialogue and script are on point, and there's more than a few times where I giggled or laughed. If you like Day of the Tentacle, Maniac Mansion, Monkey Island, Gold Rush, Full Throttle, Deja Vu, Broken Sword, I'll stop there, I could go on forever. You will probably enjoy Detective Gallo if you're into any of those. If you're not a fan of old school adventure games or point and click games, this will do nothing to convert you. This game also doesn't break any new ground, but it is more than worth the $14.99 retail price. It's a short experience though, roughly 3 to 8 hours long, depending on your playstyle, use of Gallo vision, etc. Unfortunately, there aren't too many different set pieces to explore, as the world itself is relatively self-contained. The number of environments in the game is small, which works both for and against the game. The backtracking can get tedious through the same environments, but I also don't want to run around hundreds of rooms either. Gallo's definitely a fun old school adventure game that comes with all the positives and negatives that emanate from this genre, including a handful of rather obtuse puzzles. My frustration doesn't come from the puzzles themselves necessarily, but from the fact that you could be held up solving a puzzle because you didn't explore all the dialogue branches with a certain character. Now, for example, there was a puzzle rather early on where I knew I needed to open something, but the game mechanics wouldn't let me, even though I had the right item to do so. I later forgot about trying that same item and got momentarily stuck and frustrated. If a puzzle doesn't need to be solved at the moment, the game will also prevent you from solving it until later on. Most of the problems I have with Detective Gallo come from being a little bit nitpicky, and most of the problems are few and far between. Some are more glaring than others, and some can be fixed with a patch, like the lip syncing issue. Gallo does one thing incredibly well though, at least where most every other game in this genre fails at on console, and that's accessibility and controls. The PS4 touchpad is accessible, so you can use it as a mouse. Every single type of game like this in the future should allow for the option of utilizing the touchpad, or at least the option of mouse support. The murder mystery plot's intriguing and will keep you guessing which suspect's guilty all the way until the end. I felt involved and invested enough to finish the game up until the end of the game, and the graphics are vibrant and colorful, and they could almost pass for a cartoon. The animations are sometimes clunky though, and as I mentioned, the dialogue lip syncing issue is so off that it can be very distracting at times and off-putting. The replay value is low, as it is for most of these types of games, but there are quite a few trophies on PS4 that can have you coming back to revisit the game in the future. I finished the game and got the ending of the story having only completed around 18% of the trophies. That somewhat annoys me that I can complete a game with less than 20% of trophies unlocked, but it also gives me a reason to replay the title. This also makes for a decent alternative for younger gamers, as the game isn't too violent. I could almost see Detective Gallo becoming a Saturday morning cartoon one day. At $14.99, this is a must-buy for fans of the genre, even with a few missteps and shortcomings. For people that don't like point-and-click games, again, this won't convert you. I give Detective Gallo a 7 out of 10. Rule number 777 of Gallo: enjoy this throwback to retro gaming today. Detective Gallo is available on Steam, PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch. A review code was provided by the developer of the game. This has been Next Level Taken. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.